Donald Trump has been awful on Israel, on Iran, on the Palestinian question, on basically everything in the region. Horrific and intentional destruction of a people, inflicting the worst level of human suffering on children by choice.
Let's hop into a Mehdi Hasan interview with Dave Smith on Donald Trump, someone who he voted for but now thinks should be impeached, and how he's grossly overstepping his powers. So leave us a like on the video if you can. It lets us know you enjoy the content. It gives us a huge boost in the algorithm, and it's free. And we'll be back after with the context needed.
Do you think Donald Trump is ultimately doing Benjamin Netanyahu's bidding? Was he pressured into striking Iran?
Well, I think that's undeniable, right? That there were certainly pressures, and this clearly has been, as you know about as well as anyone, this has been a goal of the Likudniks and the neoconservatives for many years. That being said, I think Donald Trump also has some horrible priors about the situation, and so I don't know exactly how much pressure was even needed to be placed on him. I mean, Donald Trump has been awful on Israel, on Iran, on the Palestinian question, on basically everything in the region. He was better, at least his gut instinct, on Syria and Iraq than, say, George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. But he's always been really bad on this issue. So
the answer is simple. It's always follow the money, especially with greedy, war-hungry pigs like Republicans. Miriam Adelson donated over $100 million to Trump in this cycle. Her and her husband do so every single election cycle that Trump was involved in. And it seems that he let her largely dictate Middle East policy. As a stern Israeli hawk who has publicly called for the annexing of Gaza, Trump's actions and rhetoric has lined up one-to-one with hers, where Trump has now signaled that the U.S. would help Israel annex Gaza. He then preemptively struck Iran, a country that posed no threat to us. It violates international law to do so, all because Netanyahu wanted him to. I mean, America first is pretty quickly revealing to be Israel first, donor first, anything except the actual slogan.
These people were like really anti-everything. And as someone joked on Twitter, Tulsi Gabbard now has the power for the first time in her life to try and stop a war, and she didn't use it. In fact, she helped make the case for it. RFK Jr. busy, destroying our credibility on the international stage. On the health front, has said nothing about the fact that he's in a government which bombed Iran. You would think if he was a private citizen, he'd be speaking out against it. Like, where are all these supposedly anti-war alternative voices right now?
Well, I mean, give RFK a break. He's got to deal with the health crisis of anti-Semitism here at home. So that's a big issue when you're on the head of HHS.
It's because, which is a surprise to no one, conservatives are not actually anti-war. Shocker, right? Republicans have always been and will always be the pro-war party in this country. At this point, the only true anti-war voices are us progressives, not even the entirety of the Democrats. It's to the ire of all conservatives and moderate Democrats. We oppose Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Israel's genocide in Gaza, Trump's reckless action in Iran, supported Biden pulling the plug on Afghanistan, and we're against our actions in Central America. We support things like diplomatic solutions, sending aid. Lefties are the only principled people on this, which is why we need more of us in power, more of us elected to Congress and to these leadership roles. It's also why no one should take Republicans serious when they're trying to pretend military aid is akin to military action, and that they're just anti-war, and that's why they're against military aid, because they support direct military action.
Do you believe that what Israel is doing in Gaza right now is a genocide?
Yeah, probably. I think, in terms of international law, the definition of genocide is incredibly vague. The trying to destroy an ethnicity or nationality in part or whole or something like that. Yeah. And for the most part, when I do debates on this subject, I've never really liked to use the word genocide because I just feel like it derails the debate into a debate about semantics. How would you describe
what Israel is doing in Gaza? What words would you use?
Just the horrific and intentional destruction of a people, with the clear aims of ethnic cleansing and annexing land that doesn't justly belong to you. But just inflicting the worst level of human suffering on children by choice.
He quite literally just described genocide, but I will say he does have a point. Like, I'm not giving him a hard time because I know he agrees. It's just semantics, right? It becomes more about that when you bring up genocide, which can be frustrating because the people who make it semantics are often the ones who don't really know what genocide is, where genocide can happen without a single member of the group even being killed. Putin is actually accused of this right now, but these things are about intent, right? And the actions don't always equate to mass slaughter. They often do, but not always. People just want to distract the conversation from the facts to literally anything else, which is where this is important to not let that happen. Because to talk about 55,000 slaughtered, 20,000 children killed, 80% of Gaza leveled, aid being delayed, millions ethnically cleansed, I mean, it becomes a really hard side to defend then.